Good afternoon. President Hakainde Hichilema is doing Zambians a favor for using his house for state affairs. The government to fire underperforming health officials.
The trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry.
There's so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Easy, check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Thank you for staying with us, and now the news in details. Health Minister Sylvia Masebo has charged that underperforming health workers risk being instantly dismissed as bomb the poor sanitation at Matero Level 1 Hospital. This follows a recent video taken by Matero Member of Parliament Sampa portraying dirty toilets that went viral on social media. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka Monday, Ms. Masebo says those lazing around without doing their job will not be transferred but fired.
Barely 2 days after these videos and pictures of dirty toilets at Matero Level 1 Hospital went viral, following a prompt visit by the constituency area Member of Parliament Sampa, the Minister of Health has taken action and transferred the entire management. Angered with what transpired, the ministry has taken the move to change the entire management at Matero Level 1 Hospital, measures the Minister of Health says will help improve the situation.
Has doubled your allocations, is releasing money timely, so there's no excuse apart from incompetence, mismanagement, people not taking work seriously. That's what this is all about. So let us start cracking the whip for those of you that are in charge at provincial level, at district level, because remember that if something is wrong in your province, the bat stops with you. If something is wrong in the ministry, the bat stops with me. So before it comes to me, I'll start with you, so you also do your part.
Speaking during the COVID-19 and cholera update in Lusaka Monday afternoon, the minister says it is embarrassing and lack of management that a health facility can be found in such a state. Ms. Masebo says it was not in dispute that Mr. Samba visited the hospital without authority, however laments that allowing dirtiness in hospitals, yet people are getting paid, is unjustifiable. She reiterated that rather than shooting the whistleblower, Mr. Samba, the ministry should concentrate on ensuring that it ups its game.
But issues of hygiene begins with you and ends with yourself. We don't expect the minister to be checking toilets every day in health facilities. And this time you're being transferred, next time there will be no transfer. You just lose your jobs. There's too much playing games in most of these health facilities. People are not working. Dr. Mali, please, talk to your people. You know? You're telling me that Sampa went to Matero Hospital without authority. Yes, that may be true, but I think that should not even be the point. The point is that we are allowing dirtiness in the facilities, and yet we've got people that are getting paid.
Unkept toilets, poor medical care services continues to be the talk of the day, mostly in government hospitals. Matero Level 1 Hospital is just among other few hospitals found with such poor health conditions.
With regard to Matero, what happened is regrettable, and we've worked with the teams at central level, provincial level, and district level to ensure that we strengthen the management of the hospital, the local management of the hospital. So we have since transferred out the current medical superintendent, the hospital administrator, and the head of pharmacy.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The United Party for National Development, UPND, has rubbished the calls for government critics suggesting that the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema should stop using his residence for official duties but relocate to Nkwazi House. UPND Deputy Secretary Gertrude Imenda says President Hichilema is doing Zambians a favor by using a residence at no cost to the government.
It means it is very dilapidated. It is very bad. But because it's President Hakainde, it's okay. He should go in a dilapidated one and make it a priority instead of things that improve the lives of the Zambian people. How does him moving into Nkwazi House, how was it going to recruit, to give extra bursaries to the more than 2,500 students? The very people who were talking about he will never get into State House. Taka Imone, State House, he will never see it, he will not even get there. Why have they become so agitated or so forceful? Or why do they want to make it a priority that he gets to move into Nkwazi House? What have they put there that they want it? Now look, we put something there, but now he's not going there. We are being suspicious. He is staying in his own house. He should have been put somewhere where the government should pay rent. In fact, the government should pay him rent for using his own house. But he's saying, no. Zambian people are more important. I'll give it them. I'll stay free. They will not charge the government for staying not in Nkwazi House, but elsewhere where the government is supposed to pay rent. And in any case, I'm surprised. This is not the only sacrifice that President Hichilema has done. He has forgone his salary for the past 8 months. Why haven't the noise makers made the noise? You should get your salary. Why haven't they done that? But they say you should move into Nkwazi House. Why?
All the 11 water utility companies in the country have applied to reverse upwards the water tariffs to meet operational costs. The National Water Supply and Sanitation Council NWASCO Chief Inspector Peter Mtale says the water utilities have to, however, justify their need to adjust upwards the water tariffs.
Water is a basic need that man cannot live without, hence its shortfall attracts agony because it is a multi-purpose commodity for human consumption, household needs, and industry requirements. Zambia has faced numerous challenges that have affected its economy, ranging from climate change in terms of drought and floods, COVID-19, and the new attribute being the war between Russia and Ukraine. In all these, prices of commodities have been rising, including fuel and transport, but since 2019, most water utilities have not had tariff adjustments. Among the recent tariff revisions were for the period 2017 to 2019 for Lusaka, Mulonga, Nkana, Kafubu, Northwestern, and Chambeshi water supply and sanitation companies. At the moment, most firms, including the Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company, lament over the high cost of production and have been coping through government and donor support.
In terms of the electricity tariffs, which are quite high, because you can imagine, even as a utility company, Lusaka, our monthly electricity bill was about 4.5 million kwacha. That's in January. That is before the increase was effected. After the increase, we're now accumulating bills of 11.5 million kwacha. That's over 153%. Meanwhile, the customers are still paying the same amount.
We understand that the tariff increment is expected to cover inflation and other rising direct costs such as electricity and chemicals. NWASCO Chief Inspector Mr. Peter Mtale confirmed to Camnet News that all the 11 water utilities have applied for new tariffs, which can only be approved upon meeting the stiff conditions of the process. Mr. Mtale says the consumer must be protected while allowing providers to be sustainable in their operations.
Time that we didn't have a board to approve the tariffs, the issue of COVID came in. So there were a lot of other challenges. But despite those challenges, the cost of inputs continued to go up. I think you remember that ZESCO, in the category where commercial utilities fall, increased by about 143%. That's a social tariff category, 143%. That was in 2020. The cost of chemicals went up, the cost of labor went up, the cost of fuel also, has gone up. But I think for the past 2 to 3 years, we have never had any tariff adjustment. So what happened, last year, actually, all the commercial utilities actually applied for a tariff adjustment, all the 11. So the process commenced, and we have reached a point where now almost we are getting to the end. So it's just some discussion with key stakeholders. Once we agree, then we'll chart the way forward.
He has since implored consumers to take a keen interest in stakeholder engagements on the proposed water tariffs.
And I think we have had these problems in the past where the commercial utilities go around, they announce, they put in the public media to say we are inviting customers for consultations. But I don't know if it's maybe people are too busy, they want to shun this. Then when the tariffs are out, then they come and say we are not consulted. Because for us, what we don't want is things to be implemented without the input from the consumers. Because at the end of the day, all these commercial utilities exist because of consumers.
In as much as the tariff adjustment has been pending and it is necessary for the sustainability of service provision among water firms, well, it comes at a time when the term increase makes Zambians scratch their heads. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
A teacher in Choma district in the southern province caring for his 2-year-old son with cerebral palsy is seeking financial assistance to enable him to take his son for medical treatment in India. Boyd Siyumbi, aged 2 years, suffers from cerebral palsy, which is defined as a group of disorders that affect movement and muscle tone or posture.
Munene Siyumbi spends every day caring for his 2-year-old son, Boyd, who was few months after being born, diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
When you want to make him sit, he can't. You see the neck is weak, very stiff. The muscles are stiff and the neck is weak. So this is giving us a challenge.
41-year-old Mr. Siyumbi, a teacher by profession, based in Choma district, southern province, is desperate, making every effort to make his son as comfortable as he can. But his son's condition keeps getting worse. At 2 years 10 months, it is hard for Boyd to enjoy his childhood due to his cerebral palsy condition, which is defined as a group of disorder that affect movement and muscle tone posture.
He is almost 3 years. He will be 3 in June. Currently, is 2 years 10 months. My baby Boyd was born okay, but a few days after he was born, he suffered from yellow fever. We took him to the hospital. Unfortunately, the case was not managed. The yellow fever, the yellow liquid, made him to become cerebral palsy. In short, it closed and killed some brain cells, and then it became cerebral palsy. That was in 2019. From that time to date, Boyd is troubled. As you see Boyd here, he cannot sit, he cannot touch anything, he cannot walk, and he can't speak. But the mind is okay.
Efforts to treat him locally have proved futile. His father tells Camnet TV that he is said to be treated in India, but the medical expenses way beyond his capacity, hence seeking financial assistance. More than 200,000 kwacha is required to get Boyd better.
Now, we have found a cure in India, Neurogen Hospital. He has been given an admission letter. He should be there on 15 May next month. But the financial costs needed are too high for a civil servant to bear. Even our borrowing capacity cannot reach that. They need about 212,000, which is too much. So the purpose of coming here is appealing to the population, appealing to NGOs, appealing to well-wishers, to anybody who can come to our assistance so that we meet the costs needed.
Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
This brings us to the end of our Camnet Midday News, but before we go, let's take a look at the headlines, the stories that made the headlines. The United Party for National Development claims President Hakainde Hichilema is doing Zambians a favor for using his house for state affairs. The government to fire underperforming health officials. Thank you for joining us on our Camnet Midday News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Good afternoon.